Hey guys, just coming to you real quick. I have a few minutes before a meeting, and yes, I'm at work. Not going to talk about anything work related. We're going to talk about the project just for a moment, real quick. Just want to give you guys an update on what we got going on. So yesterday, not only did it make the maiden voyage a few days ago, but it made the voyage home. Now, it wasn't very far. It's only a couple miles from my house, but we went ahead and made it home. I was very nervous, packed everything in the car, toolbox, gas tank, everything, the kitchen sink, everything you can think of, just in case I broke down on the side of the road. But I didn't. Made it home, made it back. Noticed I definitely need to go ahead and do a spark plug job. Also, I need to go ahead and do new spark plug wires. Go ahead and get those on there just to get that a refresher, maybe pick up a little bit better. There might be just a little slight miss, and I just want to take care of all that stuff. But what's really cool in the next project, we're going to take a break from all the troubleshooting and all that kind of stuff. That's great. We're going to do something fun in between projects, so you don't get exhausted with constantly troubleshooting. That might be something good in your project to do. Just take a little break and do something you really want to do. And for me, that is doing something about the exterior of the car. As you've seen in my previous videos, I've done a Plasti-dip job before and a vinyl job. I think I'll post here where I did the vinyl job in particular. But this time we're going to do a Plasti-dip job again, but different from the first time. We're not going to go with the normal black color or the flat black or even with a little bit of a satin. We're actually going to do a silver, and we're going to do a pearlizer. But the big key in this particular situation is we're not going to use the dip your car gun. We're going to go aerosol. And as you know, the aerosol cans are a big no-no for everybody who says you're going to do a whole car. There's so much worry about texture. But what we're going to share in particular in this next video is how to actually do it the right way, which is one, making sure the product is warm enough by putting it in a warm bucket of water, for instance. We're going to also cover technique, how to spray, no short, close spurts, far away. Also your layering. We're going to go through all that process. But the big thing is, surprise, we're not only going to use Plasti-dip. What? We're not going to use, nope. We're going to also use a product called, we're going to use some Rust-Oleum, probably on the wheel, but especially the Ply Color has a wrap form of Plasti-dip. But above Plasti-dip, what it has is a pearlizer built into it. So that pearlizer is that really graphite color, that very nice satin color that everybody is really in love with at this point right now, and which I do like a lot, and which I think would be awesome in that silver. And from what I know from using it previously on wheels and stuff like that, you don't have to put a finishing coat or anything on it. It's very, very durable. So what we're going to do is spray base coat Plasti-dip. Then we're going to go back with the Dupli pearlizer color over top of it. We're going to do this all with an aerosol can, and we're going to see how it turns out. So this is going to be an awesome project. It's going to, again, I could go ahead and get the dip your car and spend $400, but the point about this project is to keep it cheap, affordable, and to give you the motivation, even if you don't have a lot of funds, to do your own project. We're in the garage, and we're going to do this a little bit differently. I've Plasti-dip black before, like I said. We're going to actually try doing this in silver. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually show you. I'm going to use a hodgepodge or a mixed project between two different products, which is Plasti-dip and that of the Ply Color. So, or Dupli-color, however you say it. So as you can see here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this Plasti-dip here, which is the gunmetal-ish kind of gray looking Plasti-dip, as you can see. We're going to go ahead and once we prep the car and get everything done, this will be what we call our base coat mainly. And then what I'm going to try is to come back with this slightly different color, which is this, actually let me get out the light here so you guys can see it. But it's the Dupli, it's actually graphite metal. It's a finisher. I've seen some videos on it, and we're going to do this whole car with it. So first, let's turn the camera around and let's see what kind of work we have in front of us here. So again, we have some really rough stuff that we have to take a look at here. I mean, we look at this hood, and you know, Plasti-dip will cover up a lot of this, but you got some spots where we need to actually do some sanding down here and here where the clear coat has totally broken through. You know, and also you want to kind of pay attention to stuff like this, these dents right here. We're going to sand all those down pretty good, and I have some epoxy in case I need to do a little slight filling in. Even here, it looks like something was dropped here, which has a little bit of dent. You know, the tops are some of the worst parts. The sides are pretty good, except for when you get down here. Okay, so I got to do some work down here. I'll probably shave this down pretty good, put some fiberglass in it, close it up. I think it just came from the roof leaking down into here, down here, because the underbody of the car looks really good. Coming around, and this is going to be like, you know, the last time you see the car, hopefully in this shape. You know, you have some other little marks. You just want to sand everything down so you don't have any huge lips. The Plasti-dip's going to do a really good job, but the proof is in your prep work, okay? So coming around the back, doesn't look too horrible. I just got some rust right down there going on. And, you know, as we come around, you know, the same thing around here. This side is actually a little bit cleaner. There's no problems down really at the bottom. You know, of course, we're going to install the top and put the top back in before we go ahead and do the project of the Plasti-dip. But for right now, we got, oh yeah, this major spot right here, we got to cure this lip with the sandpaper and get rid of this this lip here, because that'll definitely show up. And I actually got some primer and some actual paint just to paint over this, because also you do not want to Plasti-dip over primer. It just doesn't breathe well and it doesn't adhere well. So we got our work ahead of us. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll let you know what we're doing. Okay, so where are we at? So we're sanding some of the parts down where the clear coat has come off and getting down to the base coat. You can see these parts here that I'm sanding down in the process. There was like some dents in some areas, so I went ahead and filled it with a little Bondo here. I'm going to sand it down. If we move over to here, this is me after I put something in here, some fiberglass to fill it in. Now I'm shaving it back down. I'm not really worried about the first or one or two applications. It's going to be pretty rigid, but by the last application we'll be able to smooth everything out. I just wanted to get filled in real quick. I got rid of that rust. And so, you know, we're just going around the car, making sure everything's pretty much smoothed out. You have to wipe everything down before you do the Plasti-dip, but yeah, here's the process. Got to get that area right there too. So this is like my second coat on the hood. You know, when I say working on the hood and the top of the car, I would really suggest that you use a brand new can, because it's going to basically spray the best and the best consistency. When you start to get low, you're going to get dribble marks. You're going to get other issues. You want to switch out the cans. So save your cans at the beginning for the tops of the car. Here's some of the work around the side. Again, this is the base coats with the gunmetal. And we're just moving it along. I haven't done these fenders yet necessarily. There's still some base coat paint on that, so don't worry about that. And here's the other side of the car, okay? So we're making progress. We're going to continue to spray the hood, but I want to point out to you that you want to keep your product warm. So one thing that I always use is right on the bottom of it as I'm shaking it, I use my heat gun to heat up the product so it sprays really fine. It gives that really nice consistency, and it helps out a lot. So we're going to continue on. Okay, so the base coat is basically gunmetal is on. Just a few little streaks, but the hood went on pretty good. You know, on all these 944s, none of them for some reason they always have like little divots and little issues with them, which I corrected some of them. I didn't get to all of them. It's okay. As you can see, I still got some spots right over there that didn't come out the best. I'll address it later. The really cool thing again about Plasti-dip is, especially the hood might be the biggest attention. I could just peel it up directly, fix those issues, re-dip it again if I have to. But, you know, here's my spray going down the side of the car. I dig the color. I got a little striping, but that's just from the little thing right there. But that's fine because this is just my base coat. You know, and there's going to be a little bit of striping just based off of my experience with Plasti-dipping on flat surfaces up from above. That just kind of happens. So here's the walk around of the car at this point with the base coat done. Now we're going to move on to the new stuff, which is the, again, custom graphite. It's the custom wrap. It's the graphite metallic finish, which I think is going to change the color slightly, but then also give this nice flake. We're going to see what happens. All right. She's done. Look at her. She's been dipped. Oh yeah, she sure has been. That's right, the Plasti-dip slash diply color, or whatever the name of the stuff is, the graphite metallic that's been put on top of it, but the gunmetal base coat, that project is now done. I mean, check her out. She's looking pretty good. Of course, I got to remove some of the Plasti-dip from the light fixtures here and there. I got to, clean up my bumpers and stuff like that, my overspray. It's really easy. It's going to come off by hand. But the car is looking pretty stellar. It's not totally dry yet. So everything's not dry. You might see a little bit of striping still. That's just because everything is still basically finishing off. But we have a job complete. Let me turn the camera around so you can see what's going on. So again, here she is from the front. As I mentioned, I'm going to keep saying it. It's still drying, guys. It's still drying. Yeah, the project is complete. Here's the car as I come around the side. I don't have the best lighting around the side, but it looks pretty stellar from the eyeball test that I can see. As I come around to the rear, here's the rear of the car. As you notice, I didn't tape off anything. Why? Because I know Plasti-dip at this point. I'm pretty familiar with how it comes off of different plastic pieces, windows and such, and it's almost more time taping everything up than it is just to rub the excess Plasti-dip off the windows, in my opinion. And you can use some products like WD-40, other things to get it off a little quicker if you want to. Here's the car from the other side. Going back towards the front, again, that hood was the last thing I did, so it is still drying. As I mentioned before, if there is a problem where there's too much striping, I know the process, or I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, but I stumbled on it by just trial and error of wet sanding with a high grit sandpaper, the Plasti-dip, and it actually smooths out any of the striping that you see, but I think it's drying just fine. But again, just to do a quick review on everything that took place, this was 9 cans of the gunmetal Plasti-dip color, which I got at Lowe's for $5.98 a piece. And then there was 4 cans of the Diply graphite metallic color that was at Myers. I got for $6.79 or something like that, $6.74 for those. So I got 4 of those. So that's a total of 9 cans. So the total actually came up to under $90 to do this whole project. So that's what I'm saying. Dipyourcar.com, Fonzie, whatever, he wants you to go ahead and buy the Plasti-dip all together. And that's fine. If you're a first-time user, if you don't mind spending the money, go ahead and definitely do it. Spend the $400 on the kit and get it and do it. If you're like me and you just want to find a different way, you can try it this way right here. The car, again, is going to finish drying. It's just late. I wanted to tape this and get this episode out to you guys. So here it is again. Hope you guys love it. Let me know what you think. Have a great one, guys. Take care. Bye.